lot, buddy, for a follow. What's up? Oh, it's Aaron. Aaron, my friend. What's up, man? It's been a long time. It's been a long time, buddy. How have you been? Come on. Tell me things. Jesus, man. How are you? And your injury that you had. What was that? The injury. You had an injury. I don't even remember what it was. Yeah, I got one. I'm fucked up. On the shoulder. It got fucked. Not the shoulder. Not the shoulder. The lat. Too long I've been slacking keeping on the treat stuff. Injure ankle. It's finally nice. At least that. Good. Good to know, but mine is fucked. Yeah. Is your lat? Yeah, it's fuck. I was doing lats, pull-ups, and then on one it got like, and then fuck, I got fucked. So yeah, now I can't do any kind of like lat exercise. I can't move it. Good excuse to start some slow. Well, I've been doing some snatch and deadlift. I did yesterday 150, 140, 140, 140 of deadlift. Kilos, of course. I think it was 140. Not bad. No, still. But without the belt as well. The belt helps. You snatch. No. It's snatch with 140. I will be the best. No. That was Jesus. That was deadlift. That was just a deadlift. É, exato. Agora. Uhum.
Amanhã, não precisa ir, não volta a ser hoje. Vou deixar algumas camisolas e se puder,
Deixar ela.
sacudir e deixar ao ar.
Tá bem, tá bem.
Que eu ontem já fiquei feliz.
Não.
Não é mal, para deixar ficar, mas vai ficar frio.
Eu também posso fazer daqui a bocadinho faço.
É?
Não custa nada, daqui a bocadinho faço. E deixas lá fora.
Era para não ficarem lá fora durante a noite, percebes?
Temos.
Faz amanhã.
Mas também não há problema ficar da noite.
Eu não vai arrumar.
Oh, não, moço, como é que isso também não é assim?
Enches tu?
Tranquilo.
Ainda posso enfiar as camas.
Sim, é mesmo. Aspirada então. Arrumada, sim, aspirada, tudo. Porra. Ethereum is up more than 1000% since 2020. That is how much you would have if you invested 1000 a year ago. Tinhas ganho 12 mil euros. Ou 12 mil euros ou sim, 11 mil euros. Isto é tudo assim, é sempre assim. Olha o Kevin, o Larry, aquele do Shark Tank.
Let's talk about burning. This is
Como é que é?
Hindsight 2020. 2020 é tipo uma medida de visão, que é tipo 20 em 20, melhor visão possível.
Sim.
Hindsight é tipo olhar para trás.
Pois.
Tipo, olhar para trás a visão é perfeita, tipo, olhar para trás parece.
Tudo é óbvio, foda-se, que estupidez. Pois.
Se tivesse apostado.
Agora, empresta agora. E tu, mas não, isso agora não é 20%. Depois daqui a um ano dizes, foda-se, se eu tivesse emprestado naquela altura. É sim, é sempre assim, é sempre assim. Sempre. Por isso. What can we do? Investir não. Pois é, um gajo que investe agora, investi mal, porque não era agora. É sempre assim. It will break when the 10,000, yeah. It will continue to grow for sure. Yeah, me too. I think so too. I just got my first 1K. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You're gonna have to sign for the Portuguese Olympic team. Yeah, you have to. The work is going good, but sorry, I was. Yeah, the work is going good. I'm trying to finish these little things before I keep working for the Kurakagi. I have to work for him. And thanks Aaron again for the subscribe on my Twitch. Much appreciated, as always. So you guys think that you... Aaron, do you have Ethereum or what? You have? Nice man. I hear Portuguese is great for investment. Tax free, yeah, exactly. So when you pay taxes is when you send them back to your bank account? Is that what you mean? When it's the tax free, right? How much do you pay if you have to send to? For now, it's free. The taxation.
Olha, temos que mandar ação para eles. Para escrever naquele site.
Yes. Veja isso.
It's a particularly bad problem for entrepreneurs who are starting companies and working 18 to 20 hours a day and getting 4 hours sleep. It's very, very hard and it's very, very competitive. And often they face this concept of burnout. So what is burnout? Your ability to make decisions slows. You get a cloudy, foggy head. You're distracted by really tiny things. You can't focus on anything. These are some of the signs of burnout. And it's happened to me. It happens to everybody. How do you avoid it? Well, let me give you some hacks. This works. Get into the routine of exercising for at least half an hour each day. Pick whatever that's going to be. Walking outside, riding a bicycle, on a treadmill, whatever it is. Some form of distraction so that you can just do something other than work and take a rest on your body. Your body wants to exercise and it needs to do that, and it has to be something that's done in a routine basis. So I do this every single morning. For me, I get up at 5:30 and I get on an elliptical and a Peloton. You don't have to use those, but I do both for 30 to 35 minutes. And I read stuff and emails, I catch up on stuff, and I just use morning. For me, I get up at 5:30 and I get on an elliptical and a Peloton. You don't have to use those, but I do both for 30 to 35 minutes. And I read stuff and emails, I catch up on stuff, and I just use it to get that exercise. Number two hack. This really works. Stop eating crappy food. The tendency to eat crap when you're working 18 to 20 hours a day is very, very high. Stuff loaded with carbs and sugars, really bad food. If you really
It's
want
true.
to be top performing and not want to get caught up
It's true.
in burnout, food is the most important factor. Look, it's not hard to eat healthy. You can do it, but it's something you have to make part of your regimen. This really helps you avoid burnout. And lastly, this is really important. Every day, take 30 minutes of white space to do something that has nothing to do with your job. Play guitar, paint, listen to, an audio edition of something you like. Play some music on the stereo. Read the newspaper. Do something completely different. You're investing 1 hour each day, a minimum of half an hour in exercise and a half an hour of what I call white space. You do those, and you eat well, you will never burn out.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's a way to see things. What do you guys think? You agree with him? With the Shark Tank guy?
Let's talk about burnout. This is a particularly bad.
It wasn't.
Olá.
Sim. 17 de dezembro. Yes. 17th.
Once you have a child, your life is turned upside down, especially when it's
Jesus. Something here. I can't find. How to get to retire. How to get to retire.
I wanted to go over
With
Ethereum
Ethereum.
one more time and talk about if it's a good long-term investment for 2021 and beyond. And of course, before we get into this, I still want to recommend everybody check out the StackTheCrypto.com trading course. Now, this course is going to be good for anybody who's just getting into crypto, but even if you've been in it for a while, you'll learn the different trading strategies, being day trading, swing trading, long-term trading. Now, there are a lot of good tips in this course. That's why I'm recommending it. So if you want to check it out, I'll throw a link in both the description and comments. All right, so I'm going to be pulling up Ethereum here on Coinbase, and I got to be honest with you guys, if you're not getting involved in crypto at this moment, you're really missing the boat. That's not financial advice, but I do want to pull up my account here real quick before we start talking about Ethereum. You can see I'm basically up, almost, what is it, like 14,000 in the last month here, 13,000, 14,000. It's been pretty crazy. I mean, if you pull up my yearly for crypto this last 12 months, I'm up from 3,000 all the way to 43,000, so it's been absolutely insane for me. Now, let's talk about Ethereum, right? I've been recommending Ethereum back when it was, between 250 and 350 bucks. Now, Bitcoin's getting close to its all-time highs. Ethereum here, if we look at the yearly on it, it's up quite a bit for the year. So let's see what the percentage is. Okay, so it's up 221% on the year, which is a lot. If you would have got this coin even just like 2 or 3 months ago, man, you could have got it a lot cheaper. Now, do I think it has room to go up? I absolutely do. We're talking about like Ethereum being a good long-term investment here. This isn't financial advice either, guys. You gotta obviously do your own research. But it's all-time high. Ethereum was between 14 and 1,500 bucks, which is still like 2 to 3 times away from where it's at right now at $500. Now, anytime you're thinking about getting a coin, I always recommend researching it. Ethereum, you can check out their website. They've got like an active blog. They've got a community on here, but you just got to know there are tons of altcoins that run off Ethereum's open source platform. So that's important to know, which is why the price is so high on it. Another thing I want to point out here on CoinMarketCap, Ethereum has been in the second position for years, guys. So you got to realize Ethereum's not going anywhere. I mean, between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, those coins are going to be here 5, 10 years from now. Obviously I can't guarantee that, but the fact that they've been in their positions for so long, they're just not going anywhere. So, here's what it comes down to, right? Now, I pulled up digitalcoinprice.com. They had some forecasts for Ethereum for 2021. They're basically giving prices between, 700 bucks all the way up to like 1,500, right around there. And that is my price prediction for it. I think we'll see an Ethereum get anywhere from like 750 bucks to $1,500 in 2021. And that's really where I'm sticking. You know what I mean? So those are my price predictions for it. I see it going up higher, but if you would have got an Ethereum like 2 or 3 months ago when it was, between 250 and 350 bucks, I mean, you'd be looking a lot better right now. But you could still get into it. I do think it's a good long-term hold. After 2021, who knows how high it goes, all right? We don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed another crypto video here. If you could smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Ébola.
Sério?
Ébola. Meu Deus.
Sabe onde é que vais? Tu mudadinho?
António. Calhar.
Olha, já que lá vais,
All right, so today you're in for a special treat. We're actually going to do a
pergunta-lhe
portfolio
se consigo fazer o meu
analysis
check-in.
of
Não,
one
pois
Se
é.
não, eu faço hoje às 7h30 ou amanhã.
I've got a few that we're going to break
Quer dizer, eu não
down
faço
during
hoje
the
às
show.
7h30.
Sei, eu sei porque vai estar. Eu sei, sei.
You guys are
Mas faço amanhã.
Certo.
The metaverse has been
Falar em
exploding.
amanhã,
We've
queres ir
done a
ao
couple
foco?
videos on it, but
Yes.
more importantly, we've been tracking this for some time. And if you look back on our videos here on the channel
Okay.
and just kind of track our own research and when we release these videos, there is a rhyme and a reason to that. And I won't say that you should jump into it at that time, but when we drop a video, the reason is because we've done a lot of research in behind it, and we want to share that research with you guys, our audience. Now, remember, we do these market movers. The key with the market movers are very simple. We'll present data. I'll present, in this case today, a portfolio, but it's not investment advice.
make
This
this
is what
thing.
I've done. Whether you copy me or not, that's up to
Ainda bem que
you.
não vamos hoje.
One thing
Vai
is
assumir.
always
Snack, snack,
do
snack,
your own
snack, snack.
research and get out and find what
Fica aí amanhã.
on many of these projects.
Não
Like I
Não
said,
viste?
we've already done a
Não vai
layer
entrar.
of research.
Posso te dizer?
Não
Não,
me
te
diz.
digo, mas digo se for
Together,
snack.
we revealed to you
Não, se é hoje, não é amanhã, velho.
Yes,
that I started building about 3 months ago.
Isso é uma certeza
Back
absoluta.
on our channel, just go back to our videos. You
Não
can
sei que se
literally
estivesse a enganar.
find my purchase date based
É
on-
fixe.
Usually I buy about a
É
day or
fixe,
two,
pronto.
either right after or right before a video drops,
Exato,
depending on
entendi.
what research we're getting ready to roll out. And that's mainly just giving you guys just a heads up of here's the research we're working on, here's some of the projects that we are jumping into. With that being said, we basically put a $25,000 investment into this, and so far into this portfolio, we've been able to do a full 3x. Now, how did we do it? And more
Ui.
importantly, what's in the portfolio?
Mas não está nada a ver.
Dive into what is in this portfolio. So quick on screen right here, we're just doing a quick chart here on CoinMarketCap. This is where we built the portfolio. Currently setting at a 70K. Again, like we said, we started here back in the early stages at around a 15K investment and started to really kind of grow this throughout the last 90 days. And we've seen, of course, right about here was when we started to see the explosion of the metaverse projects and also just the metaverse in general, and hence you've seen this kind of rise right here. And this is typically what you'll see in your project that maybe you're invested in if you're rocking on the metaverse and you're really controlling and understanding what's happening within these projects in the sense of how much data you're collecting, research you're doing. In our assets, Axie Infinity was really one of the first ones that we dropped and really went after aggressively. And you can kind of see here with Axie, obviously we've had a 613% rise on our profit, so not a massive investment, but you can kind of see just the portfolio profit versus the overall holding. You can kind of see this massive gain here. I think we ended up putting around $4,000 in Axie of that 25K. Illuvium was our number 2. And Illuvium, of course, has had about a 70% rise. We got in that a little bit later, but we did get into this at the same time that we dropped our first Illuvium analysis video. And then Arweave, right here, also another one that had some decent moves. Again, Arweave is one of those that, though it's not a gaming product, it is a data storage platform that essentially I think is going to really excel in the metaverse at some point down the road. So I feel like this is one of those tokens that could fall in there. Sandbox, you guys have seen the videos that we've dropped on that over the past few months. And Sandbox has been a great project, another 445% mover on this one. You can kind of see our original move right here at 5 later, but we did assign based on, but you may not have called that. It's a explosion. Its growth right here on year to date would focus it
Okay.
invest big into NFT
Just this.
companies that are out there, or guys like SoftBank or Lightspeed or Andreessen Horowitz, you name them, they're out there in the VC space. Most likely, if you just go to their portfolio and start scouring through those to understand what projects are they feeling lucky about, because that usually points you in the right direction to go see if it's a project that you might want to invest in. So that's the first thing that I would say you need to keep an eye on, is how these investment houses are jumping behind them. Some other projects that we jumped into, of course, Engine will go to its year to date and currently trading at 318. Again, picked it up down here in the low zone. I think that one was picked up in September and October. Had its major rise again, another explosion based on the metaverse. This is one of those explosions, I think, that because of what we've seen of essentially Facebook kind of unveiling what is happening out there in terms of development, this is one of those that really benefited from it, being Engine. Decentraland, Mana, if you traded on this one, it's had a little bit of a rough run. I probably should have dumped this one and took it and ran with the money. But if you look at this one on the 1 year, you can kind of still see its move was big. It has had a fall off, but it's still way up from where it was originally at around 70 to 80 cents. So this was just a short run that Decentraland had. Whether or not it holds at this position, I'm watching this one very, very closely, because like these ecosystems, and when you think ecosystems, being Decentraland, being Sandbox, and others that are developing within the metaverse, you have to pay attention to what's happening within that ecosystem. Is there enough infrastructure to kind of support it? And are there new projects that are starting to roll into those? So be on the lookout for a lot of that kind of news, and our own analysis. Sometimes the projects are the ones really that you should be watching, because as they succeed, so do those platforms, being Decentraland. Also, again, the big players and the big investors. Follow the money, always say that. Audius was one we picked out very early in the year, and this one had two halves to it. And when we first looked at it, this was back here in, I'm going to say, probably around, after its fall, I would say this was probably in the April, May, and June period, when Audius was really in a little bit of a fall off. And this was one project that we saw coming, and if you look back at our video, you can see the timestamp in which we did that video, and then look at the chart from that point forward, because that was where our sentiment analysis and our own amplification started to identify certain things within Audius that was showing some potential stability. And if you look back here at the chart, that's what happened. It took its rise right here in the fall and through the summer, and then right there on August,
Ok, sim. E depois, exato, sim, 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 sim. Certo, certo,
up
certo.
and down, but also somewhat holding at the above $2 rate. So I think this is one that I'll continue to hold going forward. And then, of course, the big breadwinner is going to be Axie Infinity. This was just a call we made early in terms of our analysis. And if you look back at that original Axie video that we did, I was still very, not skeptical, but I was conservative in the sense of where its growth would go. Even though our numbers were still showing great growth, we didn't anticipate the parabolic move that Axie would take, and that was essentially this parabolic move right here in July. So I know that doesn't look like much of a move, but at that time, that was a big move in July, going from what was $15 to up around $50 over a very short period of time. And that was the first indicator that we actually missed it. We had it on a rise. We just didn't have it on that kind of rise. And of course, it kind of stabilized. It had another big stair step, stabilized. We had that dip, which I hope people were out there buying at that $50 price point, because that was the buy of the year, I think, in terms of Axie. And then again, right here, another takeoff period, which was late September, when it started to bust out of the double digits and into triple digit numbers, spiked up to $138, and that's what we've seen here. I think this is the new level for Axie during this bull run. Now, let me be clear about what my strategy is, because this is very important. My
strategy in the bull run as we cycle through this is that we will continue to see, and I think this one is a 10x portfolio that I've assembled. In other words, I'm going to take that 250, we're going to flip that into $250,000 and try to make that work on a 10x. Now, there may be some of these projects that I will dump if I see that the project one is losing speed on sentiment and amplification, and the other is if we start to see other projects that have similarities take the wind out of their sails. Those are the kind of things I'm watching for to kind of go in this direction, to take a portfolio and 10x it. Now, remember, I'm only 3x into this. We'll go back and check my math on this. Maybe we'll do this every month. We'll do an update to kind of see where the portfolio is. We will be adding some portfolio and taking profits and maybe pushing it back into the portfolio to see what we can do with this. And really kind of give you guys some, hopefully some insight as to what
Claro.
our thinking is and how we research projects
Dá para apresentar fora.
about our own strategies.
Em
The other
Lisboa.
one that I want to talk about is Illuvium. And Illuvium is another one of those that was an early player in the summer. If you were able to get in on this at an early stage at $100, I know a lot of people at that time were thinking it was way overpriced. If you look at where Illuvium is now, well over the $1,000 mark with its high setting at $1,300. Again, I think Illuvium is yet to make its play. Again, we will see. Now, there's not as many gains on Illuvium that is coming over this bull run. We may see another.
A partida, quando são valores assim muito grandes,
But
mas
the likelihood, the key here again is if Illuvium drops something.
No Distrito de Lisboa, a segurar a montagem. Há outras localidades, a entrega é feita por transportador e não é
All
por
that drop
montagem.
is
É
just
necessário ajudar o motorista a descarregar e
because
encomenda.
of the structure of what Illuvium
a descarregar a encomenda eu descarrego.
on
Não,
the
mas não
lookout for
pode
that.
Pois eu sei,
The
o
other
meio é
one
esse.
is Arweave. Arweave was, I thought, one of the best
Pronto, mas liga, não é mesmo?
$15
Pergunta.
price point. You could get
E
it
depois
at
se diz, olha, mas não tem aqui casa aqui no Porto? Eu tenho quase certeza que podem ter, estás a ver?
right here
Se não tiverem, então
August,
nada feito.
that's when Arweave started making its move. And again, remember Arweave is the data architecture. Think of it of the AWS for blockchain and what that might mean in the metaverse. Because in the metaverse, you're going to need storage, and storage is going to be a big factor. Companies and projects like Arweave are going to play into that role, or at least I believe they will. And then when and if that starts to occur, be paying attention to these projects and where they're coming, because these are the kind of innovations that are going to set them on fire. And if you look at where Arweave did it, it had a nice little high right here on September, 67, dumped down to 42, came back up here in October to 65, dumped down again. This was a great buy. If you were spot trading, this would have been a good one. And then now what we've seen is a new level of resistance and confidence in the 70s, and it looked like it might hang there for a bit and be in a position to where Arweave can start making its play into maybe doing a few more X's in this portfolio. So we're going to watch this really closely. Just to give you an example of what we were looking at with Sandbox, this goes back all the way to our original date, which was the 27th of October, and we pulled sentiment scores at 73.29 and an amplification score of 74.09. You've been watching our channel long, you understand what that means. It's what we call a flip. And amplification starts to outperform sentiment. When that is recorded in our data, all we normally see is parabolic moves, and that's exactly what happened right through here with sand, and right up here to its big all-time at the time, and then fell off. And here was the information that we pulled during this fall. Sentiment went to 76, amplification again flipped at 77.13, and guess what happened? We saw another major move here by Sandbox, and then boom, we saw a little bit of a correction. And this is where we are looking a little bit weaker on this project. 72.11 still, remember, 72.11, 73.97 does not mean necessarily sideways. It just doesn't, we don't necessarily think this is going to go parabolic anytime soon unless we see another correction. If we see another correction, we'll send a review on this and understand what that means in terms of whether or not Sandbox will start to see more moves. Now, granted, we could see more big news that is like kind of like an axis that you can't anticipate through sentiment, and looking at what the water cooler effect is, or the node effect. But this is one that I think we'll continue to watch very closely. And Sandbox, I feel like between the two, whether I go Mana and Sandbox, if I had to reposition that trade, I would probably exit Mana and double down on Sandbox. I feel like that is the more confident trade. Now this is more of I know many of you may look at this as an aggressive portfolio, but this is actually one of our non-aggressive portfolios. And I'm going to do another video for you. We're going to go into our degen portfolio.
Sim, está bem, eu sei, mas
You're going to lose
comprou fácil.
or you're going to 100x. Those are the kind of games that are at stake. It's a pure gambling portfolio for me.
O Tiago ainda não arranjou emprego. Está à espera de coisa, mas acha que não vai receber resposta. Agora já está a mandar para outras.
That's always something that I'm concerned about in how we look at data science in this space. If there's not enough data, pools of data out there, it's much tougher to trace. And that's going to be the same as we look at our degen portfolio for the metaverse. We want to make sure and stay tuned for that video because we'll drop that. We are trying to add a couple more assets to that one that are actually copies right now. We may drop a couple of isolated videos to give that to you guys as well. One thing, you got to do I see it right there on screen. It's easy to get to colbertnetwork.com/diamond-circle, or you can hit the link below, and that is going to help you in being able to
não será. Eu posso dizer, até queria confirmar ver se consigo. É uma base da mola flex, relativa ao flex.
You got to come over to the YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel is where you're going to get all these analyses. You'll see the charts we just mentioned on sale. Maybe
uma coisa, a 200%
not everything.
Pode-me confirmar que o preço que aparece é
Make sure it also
236, é o preço que
on the
está.
live broadcast, because that's when we're going to do the giveaways
E
on
é uma outra
Diamond Circle.
informação,
One thing to note,
vocês têm por
give us a
encomenda,
little bit
têm
of time on
disponível.
sending out those assets. We've started to drop assets behind these, and most of the time it's just an issue with us getting stuff to you on
Eu vou
time.
explicar
More importantly,
a
when you
minha
send us your
pergunta
wallet
só
address,
para
we have
esta
one
questão,
user that
que
sends
é,
the wallet address.
eu ainda não me mudei para a casa
We had to
para a qual
trace
estou a
them
comprar a
back
câmera.
down to get the
Ainda não tenho a
accurate
certeza
wallet
da data.
address.
Isso é um problema, porque eu estou a fazer a encomenda, pagar e se
Get the
não
wallet address for
responda
the
para a
actual
entrega,
token that we're giving away.
ainda não posso
Adiar.
receber, era possível aguardar um bocadinho em armazém, por exemplo. Sim.
They have to go out and chase this down, and it gets a little frustrating. So just be aware
Olha,
of all those kind of things that
ela
are
será até ao
happening.
final do ano. Precisar a data, ainda não consigo dizer porque falta só uma licença.
Some
Sim.
easy stuff, but a little bit of housekeeping there.
E é possível encomendar de
Make
qualquer
sure and hit
cor.
me up on Twitter at Paul Barrett. We'll catch you next time. Right here. Like that.
Eu queria, a que eu tinha visto que gostava era uma que é tipo, eu não sei se diz, tipo veludo, tipo, sim, uma avultada cinzenta. Ok, tenho que procurar, por acaso não a tenho apontada, eu tinha visto o nome, mas a referência não encontrei, vou procurar. E diga-me uma coisa, encomenda faz online, pode-se fazer em loja, como é que funciona? Sim, sim. Ok, pronto. Não, eu sou do Porto, não é?
Diz qualquer coisa, nós também vamos em Lisboa em
O
dezembro.
meu sogro mora em Lisboa, portanto, se fosse necessário, também poderia passar aí. Eu vi que vocês têm várias lojas, em qualquer uma delas é possível fazer encomenda. Ok, pronto. Vou ver se encontro então a referência da cor. Muito obrigada. Com licença. Olha, vamos comprar. 837, entregam e montam sem custos.
Estás a ver? Já está, tem muito. Pá, sabes que tem muita concorrência e tal e coisa.
Pá, super simpático.
Sim, sim.
Acabei de encontrar a referência da cor. Encomendam, pode esperar. Não tem problema. Eu posso encomendá-lo online, percebes? Não tem problema. É só mais aquela cena de, sei lá, é tanto dinheiro.
Eu sei, claro, esse é o
Teu pai
problema.
se teu pai pudesse ir, se calhar não era pior. Ver as coisas, ver a loja.
Você é credível. Existe.
Parece-me sim, olha, diz, desde 1942 e tem tipo 7 lojas em Lisboa. Portanto,
Sim. Não é só uma. Aquela que está lá e que não está. Desaparece.
tenho que escolher a referência da cor. Eles encomendam em qualquer cor se eu souber dizer a referência da cor. Só que eu tinha visto a cor no El Corte Inglês e o El Corte Inglês desapareceu da cama.
Não tiramos foto.
Da cor não. Da referência da cor não.
Eu acho que tiramos da referência.
Tiramos a referência, mas não da cor. Mas eu vejo se tem lá.
Mas
Ai não, a foto está com. Não, tu mandaste.
eu acho...
Não, não mandaste.
Não, eu não mandei. Se ter, deve ter eu. Deixa-me já ver.
Super simpático, são.
Legal.
Pessoas gostadas.
Exato. Mito.
So we're already seeing it starting to break out here in the market.
Deixa eu ver isso.
137 é um ótimo preço.
That's my target on this is going to be 160. And then up over 160 to 170. This is a stock that we know will be starting to move back. I was trying to symbol right there is 154. I'll hold to the pull back. So I think the trade should open at 155. 7 a.m. is when more traders are going to come online, so that's when we'll see more volume and then we'll trade. That's what I expect. Dip trade, I'll buy dips, and then we'll add on scalps before 155. So the highest point here is 150.
Estás a ver? O que eles estão a dizer?
Eu venho a escolher com os fãs também.
Mas para nós?
Não para ela. Nós
É bem.
temos.
Porquê?
Porque o meu pai quer um colchão novo.
É.
Temos ficado com o colchão.
Sim. E pois é, tenho que falar com o Henrique. Sobre os automóveis. É que isto dos automóveis novos, que coisa, é bom se calhar para vender agora o carro. Estás a perceber?
Sim.
Não há carros, as pessoas precisam de um carro.
As a reminder, for those tuning in early, I'm going to do the morning show a little long today. For those of you guys that want to watch, GameStop is obviously a popular stock that a lot of people are talking about. So I want to do a little bit of a longer morning show. I would love for you guys to hit the thumbs up, those of you guys streaming on YouTube. Here, 154. This is the 1 minute micro pullback. So we're looking for the break at 154.
Não, mas já outra vai. Sim, eu assim amanhã, se puder, passa lá. É que eu estou a achar isto mega
Muito
caro.
fixe.
Posso?
Sim. E Jex, como é que é? Tudo maravilha. Eating healthy and exercise is never bad advice, yeah. Something has not to do with the work for 30 minutes. Really good advice to say same. Yeah. Working 8 hours a day, 18 hours a day is still too intense in my opinion. I don't think 30 minutes of free time will have to save from burnout of that many hours. It helps, it will help. 10 minutes each, 6 hours.
Traders who start at 7 a.m. come online.
We get taxed 50% of our profits here in Canada. Jesus, 50%? We get zero. Jesus. Vamos dizer que os profits dos Ethereums e não sei o quê são taxados a 50%. 50%. E nós aqui zero.
Não temos uma.
Temos a referência?
Não. Temos as cores. Não tem referência. E na etiqueta só fala da cama em geral. Agora é assim, também já te mando esta foto ao teu pai. Eu acho que se chama
E ao senhor,
Ash
não consegue?
Velvet
E
Grey.
o senhor não consegue dizer?
Deve conseguir.
Qual é?
Deve conseguir. Deve ter a lista das cores, não é?
Pois.
Quando fizerem encomendas, deve-lhe aparecer para selecionar, não deve escolher a pata. Sou eu. Já não digo nada.
Yeah.
Não. 837, amor, menos 200 euros.
E és 200 euros?
Menos 200 euros. Já podemos casar.
Mas é, os meus Ethereums estavam distribuídos a 100.028, agora estão a 105.
Tiveste um pequeno desgosto quando percebeste que aquilo estava em dólares, não tiveste?
A cena foi que no dia anterior custavam 530, ok? E nesse dia ela estava bem alta. E logo depois de ele meter pagas começou a descer. É sempre assim, não é? Tipo, um momento, 5 minutos depois, se calhar era totalmente diferente. Estás a ver? É assim, é assim. E agora está a 1005, eu estava a 1028, o máximo. Assim não, meninos.
É Velvet Ash com
Sempre estou megaloso.
um verde.
Olha, um é para. Pois, pá, não há carros por causa das matérias-primas, amigo.
Ahá! É Velvet Ash.
É?
É, encontrei agora aqui um site.
Nice, ok.
Tem aquela tirinha dos tecidos que tem um nome em cima.
Nice, very good.
That thumbs up if you haven't already. It's going to be another wild day here. Buckle up. So it starts streaming at 7 a.m. So lock and load. Here we go. 7 a.m. Don't stop. Break. Halfway from that here. Back to the 150. Going 500 bull flag. Watch.
Cryptocurrencies are continuing to explode, and I know we are all thinking, where will crypto go? Will it still continue to go up? Just a few days ago, the market reached a total market cap of $3 trillion for the first time ever, with Bitcoin and Ethereum, the market's biggest cryptos, reaching record highs. And if you look past the juggernauts of the market, you'll also remember that there are other exciting coins that have done extraordinarily well. For example, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, among many others. So in this video, we are going over my top 5 crypto picks to buy right now for the end of 2021. There are hundreds of coins out there, but I've done the research and this is my list of the best coins to look into. I'll go over the numbers and the news surrounding each coin so that you can make an informed decision. Let's get started. So starting off, we have Polkadot. Polkadot is a proof of stake hub and spoke crypto project founded by Ethereum co-founder Dr. Gavin Wood. It's a special project because it comprises a central hub called the Relay Chain, which oversees a large network of spokes called parachains. Polkadot's system is predicated on DOT tokens, the same way that Ethereum is predicated on Ether or ETH. So right now, Polkadot is trading at $47.68, and we see that the full market cap right now is just over $47 billion. The trading volume in the last 24 hours is just under $2 billion. So here's the price chart for Polkadot. You can see that in the last month, it was hovering around $42, $43. Then it really spiked up at the very beginning of November, all the way to about $50, $52. And since then, it has trended downward just a little bit. If we zoom out to the one-year chart, we can see that back in January and February of 2021, we saw the price of Polkadot really shoot up, hit a high of just almost $50 a coin. Then it dropped pretty severely all the way down back to around $10 a coin. Ever since then, we've seen pretty steady growth to where it is right now. Price change in the last 24 hours is up 1.78%. It's number 8 in terms of market cap for crypto. And yeah, if we look at the ratings here on CoinMarketCap, we can see that Symmetry rates it as a B grade, and Token Insight rates it as a BBB. Polkadot is special in that its mission is to offer a layer 0 solution for the crypto world, which is another way of saying that Polkadot wants to promote interoperability for all blockchains of the crypto world. Polkadot coordinates with other cryptos through its parachains, which is short for parallelized chains. These chains all do their own thing, but once in a while they'll meet, coordinate, and communicate at the relay chain to ensure that the entire network is running smoothly. Now, Polkadot has two main features that make it scalable and powerful. Its treasury and Kusama. Polkadot has a large treasury of funds that can be used to build and market the DOT community or to increase security and develop software. And Kusama is special because it is essentially a practice network where nodes and developers can experiment with different crypto projects before applying them into the real network. The inclusion of low stakes in Kusama also encourages experimentation without too much messing around. One thing to be excited about is that Polkadot is holding
24.
parachain
Boa.
options. The parachains become a
Parece-me
genuine
bem.
possibility for integrating
Sim, para poder
crypto
fechar.
where
Claro,
chains
exato.
get the
É.
security they need, and different chains
De certa
communicate
forma é
with
que-
one another to share functionality. In fact, Polkadot
Pois,
parachain
então,
options
não é?
literally just started very recently. The second
Claro,
thing to be
pode
excited
ser uma boa
about,
ideia.
which ties into the first thing,
E é o
that
que é
Polkadot is
um...
now able to use crowd loaning,
Ah,
which will allow
esse, bem,
people to
o meu pai não
lock
está
up their
cá.
own DOT
Minha mãe não está cá,
or
se calhar está de
KSM or
urgência.
Kusama to
Pois.
get their parachain options up and going.
That's the issue, that's the issue.
What it set out to do years ago, you can't
Mas
help
sim,
but to be
é
very
é
excited
uma
for
boa
its
ideia.
protocol. That's why I definitely think it's a promising project for
Ah,
everyone
está a
to
pensar.
have
Eu
on
vou
their
marcar
watch.
jantar com
Next
os
up, we
meus
have
pais, não
Solana.
Ah, sim.
Solana
Pois, mas é, mas é.
History blockchain platform
Pois.
originally authored by Anatoly
Sim, sim,
Yakovlenko.
sim, sim.
The proof of
As
history
duas
model
coisas, não,
of
não,
the
isso
protocol
sem
is the
dúvida.
defining feature of Solana's blockchain technology. So right now, Solana is trading at $234.24. We can see that the total market cap is just over $70 billion, and the trading volume in the last 24 hours is about $2.7 billion, which is actually down 30%. You can see that Solana actually grew really consistently over the last 3 months. We started at just about $45 a coin, shot to here, which was $210 a coin, dropped sort of down here, and since then it's sort of risen back to where it is right now. And yeah, if you look at the one-year price chart, you can see that the price for Solana was just about $2 1 year ago, and that's just absolutely insane seeing that the price has over 200x in price. So yeah, price is down just a little bit in the last 24 hours. We can see that it's ranked number 5 in terms of market cap. If we look at the ratings, we can see that Symmetry rates it as a B, and Token Insights rates it as a BBB. So one reason why I think Solana is so exciting is because it is considered to be the biggest rival for Ethereum in the long run, being that Solana also has the ability to interact with smart contracts. Solana can handle 50,000 transactions per second, which is one of its primary advantages. Another feature of Solana that differentiates it from other cryptos is its proof of history protocol. One of the problems with other blockchains is that nodes or validators can't seem to agree on time because not all people on the network are working at the exact same time. Proof of history allows each block on the blockchain to be timestamped. Because the proof of history protocol ensures an objective security of time, humans don't need to be involved during validation, which allows Solana to have insane transaction speeds that it does. And the thing is, with greater transaction transaction speeds, users can also expect lower transaction fees,
Okay.
which
Hang on,
definitely
sir.
seems to be the case. Because Solana offers a platform similar to Ethereum's with the structure and
Isso é
support
tudo.
for decentralized apps, the
Estão
project is
ocupados
home
agora
to
com
many
o-
new interesting and exciting NFT projects. For example, it was recently announced that the
Luísa.
Koalanas project would save real koalas by donating 10% of its proceeds to the
E não
poor
podem estar.
communities
Têm mais pessoas para poder.
the damage of Australian wildfires. Meanwhile, the
Como se
Solana
vê.
wallet Soulflare for sending and receiving Solana's native SOL tokens, and the Phantom wallet for managing and accessing decentralized apps on Solana's network are both going mobile. This promotes greater accessibility for Solana users and is another stepping stone towards a more Solana integrated future in the crypto world. Taking into account the fact that Solana has the tools, the means, and the speed to scale it massively, I'd say that Solana is a very worthy cryptocurrency that you guys should have on your list. If you want a platform that helps you get exposure to crypto passively, Wealthfront is my go-to choice. They're an amazing robo-advisor platform that allows you to invest in both crypto trusts and ETFs. If you've been doing research about cryptocurrencies but don't know how to get started, you can now add crypto trust to your diversified portfolio with Wealthfront. Wealthfront is the only solution that offers a way to get exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum as part of a diversified investment portfolio that also offers automatic rebalancing. And beyond that, they have hundreds of other investment options to choose from, everything from cannabis to clean energy to QQQ, which you've heard me talk about a lot, all of which helps you build long-term wealth through investing. Cryptocurrencies are traditionally more risky than many other forms of investing, so it's great to get started with a platform like Wealthfront. They're making this available through Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and Grayscale Ethereum Trust. There are a few trusts out there like this, and Wealthfront is offering these two options so that you can now get exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum in your portfolio. So essentially, when you use Wealthfront, they'll help you invest in crypto without buying it directly, so you can get into it with less hassle. It's a very beautiful app, and their software is super great at building you a diversified portfolio based on your risk tolerance. For now, you can get your first $5,000 managed for free with my link in the description, and after that, it's just a super low 0.25% annual management fee. Use link below to check it out. Third up, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that is minted through a reward process called mining. A revolutionary step away from central banks or single administrators, Bitcoin was the first and to this day still the biggest cryptocurrency in the market that helped people realize the potential of cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance. So right now, Bitcoin is trading at just under $65,000, and we can see that the total market cap for Bitcoin is about $1.2 trillion. The trading volume is down about 27% over the last 24 hours to $35 billion. And yeah, right now we can see that the circulating supply of Bitcoin is about 18.87 million coins, which is very close to the max supply of 21 million coins. If we take a look at the 3-month price chart, we can see that Bitcoin was hovering around $47,000, and in the last month we did see a pretty big increase in prices at the
Gotta go
start
find
of
some lunch.
October,
Alright, buddy.
from around,
Yes, take care, take care.
$47,000,
Look.
all the way to
Yeah,
$65,000.
thanks a lot.
So it remained long.
Just
This means
looking
that
at,
if you
just
look at the
looking
1-year
at.
price chart, we are
Take
just
care,
about
take
at
care,
the
all the
same
best.
price, just surpassing the previous all-time highs back in April of this year. So yeah, really cool to see that. And we can see that the price change in the last 24 hours pretty much consistent with where it was at. And the market rank based on market cap is number 1, of course. Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency out there with a market dominance of 42.99%. If we take a look at the ratings, we can see that the symmetry score is an A- and the token insight rating is an AA. And if we look at the analysis, we can see that 97% of holders are making money at current prices, which is pretty amazing. We can see that the concentration of coins held by large holders is at 11%. 60% of people have held for over 1 year, 30% have held between 1 to 12 months, and 10% have held under 1 month. So just a few days ago, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high of over $68,000 in value. And in the grand history of the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin has risen from an original price of practically $0 to a current peak of almost $70,000, all in just the span of a little over 10 years. This is absolutely crazy to think about because no other asset has ever grown the way Bitcoin has. You might be wondering why people keep investing into Bitcoin, and I personally believe that it's just because people are continuing to have stronger faith in not just Bitcoin itself, but the world of cryptocurrencies as a whole. In fact, Bitcoin has become the iconographic monolith for the rest of the crypto world. And so the growth and the state of Bitcoin almost represents the growth and state of all other cryptos. And at this point in its long history, most people aren't concerned about Bitcoin's technological innovation, which seems to be the objective for most other blockchains. Nowadays, people are more interested in the integration of Bitcoin into our financial transactions. So yeah, how is Bitcoin being integrated more and more into our world? First off, I'll say that more and more businesses and companies are accepting Bitcoin as a valid currency, including Microsoft, Home Depot, Starbucks, Whole Foods, PayPal, Etsy, Twitch, and the newest addition to the list, AMC Theaters. Bitcoin points are being integrated into dining rewards programs, branding it as a normalized perk where participants can join the Bitcoin loyalty program and make money as Bitcoin increases in value. And to put a little perspective into the value of Bitcoin over the long run, an idle Bitcoin wallet from 2013 recently transferred over 2,000 Bitcoin worth over $147 million. Bitcoin is the OG cryptocurrency. It's wildly iconic and important, and at this point should be a long-term play for anyone that's into crypto. This is my biggest holding and the one that I will continue buying long into the future. Next up, we have Ethereum. Ethereum is a decentralized, open-source blockchain heavily functioning with smart contracts that was originally authored by Vitalik Buterin and Gavin Wood in 2013. Ethereum has been and still is being touted as a pivotal player in the crypto market space for plenty of reasons that we'll get into. Right now, Ethereum is trading at just over $4,700 per coin, and you can see that the total market cap at this price is going to be $557 billion. In the last 24 hours, we can see that the trading volume is down about 21% to $17.7 billion. And taking a look at the 3-month price chart, we can see that just about 3 months ago, we were at a price of just over $3,000 a coin. We saw a big spike here, back down to here, and since the beginning of October, we can see that the price has gone from just about 3,400 all the way to where it is right now, pretty consistently. So yeah, just over 2% increase in price over the last 24 hours. You can see that it's ranked number 2 in market cap with a market dominance of 19.65%. Oh, and if we look at the 1-year price chart, we can see that 1 year ago, we were trading at under $500 a coin. We saw some huge increases back in 2020, followed by a pretty big correction, and ever since, around June, July of 2021, the price of Ethereum has just really skyrocketed. So the symmetry rating is a B+, and the token insight rating is an A. Around 98% of people are making money at the current price, which is pretty cool. We can see that 42% is held by large holders. 60% of people have held over 1 year, 31% have held between 1 and 12 months, and 9% have held under 1 month. So whereas Bitcoin was the first decentralized store of value, Ethereum is often known as the first and most important implementation of blockchain technology as a network and platform for decentralized computation. For example, Ethereum revolutionized the use of smart contracts, which relies on decentralized blockchain technologies to enforce contractual agreements. Much of the functions of Ethereum are funded through the transaction of ETH tokens. Ethereum is also the premier platform for the development of DApps, aka decentralized applications. Decentralized applications feel just like normal apps, but the difference is that there are no owners behind the app. The app's code can't be taken down. The app is free from censorship, is backed by cryptography, and includes built-in payments using ETH. Decentralized applications is a very broad category that includes any form of computation or platform that is decentralized, which implies a greater horizon of possibilities for Ethereum to house different useful platforms. In fact, there are already plenty of popular platforms or applications that are Ethereum-based. For example, Rarible, the popular NFT marketplace, is Ethereum-based and allows for the auction and exchange of digital art known as NFTs. These have become wildly popular and insanely valuable in recent years. Ethereum is also the home of Catalog, a platform for music artists to list their works, which can be proven to be authentic with the blockchain. In the world of decentralized finance, Ethereum houses platforms that help with lending and borrowing, investments, portfolio management, and more. And Ethereum has a massive update coming soon. The Ethereum community is waiting anxiously for the merge, which is when the current version of Ethereum will completely switch over to the ETH2 proof-of-stake blockchain. This is a huge advancement on Ethereum's previous proof-of-work protocol, and proof-of-stake is more advantageous because it is much less taxing on the environment in terms of energy consumption. Ethereum is one of the largest and most successful and influential cryptos in the space, and I'm definitely going to be tracking this one for a long time and buying more. If you're new to crypto, I'd probably say you want to stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum, at least for your first 2 coins. And the next one we are talking about is Ripple. Ripple, or RippleNet, is a decentralized open source payment protocol that supports tokens which represent fiat currency, cryptocurrency, commodities, and other units of value. So yeah, simply put, it's a global decentralized money transfer system. So right now, XRP is trading at $1.21. We can see that the total market cap on this valuation is at $57.246 billion, and the trading volume is down 34% in the last 24 hours to $4.867 billion. If we look at the 3-month price chart, we can see that the price of XRP has not moved too much. It actually went down for quite a little bit, but since then it's been pretty stable and actually trending upwards. And if we zoom out to the 1-year price chart, we can see that not too much movement compared to some other coins, but we did see a very, very big increase in price at the beginning of April of this year.
Mas
all the way
daqui a
to
nada, se
about
Deus quiser, tudo.
$1.82. Since then we did
E
see a big
com
price
boas,
increase followed by another price
bons
increase.
prognósticos.
Symmetry is rating this as a D grade, and the token insight rating is BBB. RippleNet is important because it aims to address and solve some of the problems of international money transfer, harsh fees, delays in transfers, and other obstacles. Ripple hopes to solve this by instituting a consensus protocol where nodes validate currency transfers and conversions using the central XRP ledger. As of right now, RippleNet is partnered with many financial institutions across the globe, including Bank of America and American Express. And although Ripple is dealing with some legal issues right now, it doesn't change the fact that the protocol's intent is justified and its platform still continues to accommodate its users. RippleNet is specifically offering a new product called Liquidity Hub that will enable financial services to allow customers to buy and sell cryptocurrencies using Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. One thing to consider before investing into Ripple is that XRP is not actually a true currency, but more of a bridge currency, because Ripple's aim is simply to convert between different currencies. I personally believe that doesn't matter too much, because in the grand scheme of things, Ripple is bringing a lot of value and is tackling major problems with the modern international currency system that need to be addressed. Ripple is also probably the biggest crypto project of its niche, giving it a large competitive edge. So yeah, overall, Ripple is still one of the largest cryptos in the space, and it's definitely one that you should have on your watch list. Anyways, those are my top 5 cryptocurrencies to check out. If you guys want to get some free crypto or get some free stocks, I will put my links to those in the description below. Of course, with any cryptocurrencies, you do want to do your own due diligence. Crypto is traditionally a more risky investment type, so it's really important that you do your own research on these coins before buying them. Simply view this video as an analysis of 5 different coins that I currently like. Anyways, happy investing. I know crypto is super exciting right now, and I really do hope that you guys can make some good money. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. I make a ton of content about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and investing. Anyways, thank you so much again for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to invest in stocks for beginners step by step. So this video is basically going to be a course or a mini course in and of itself, so I highly recommend that you watch it from beginning to end. Whether you're a beginner or even an intermediate trader or a stock investor, you're going to find nuggets of information all throughout this video. If you're not a fan of this kind of setup, or if you like the whiteboard better, the reason I'm doing it this way is because this is going to be a PowerPoint presentation mixed with live trading, mixed with me actually handwriting some stuff on this tablet here. So that's an easier way to teach you, just that way you can see it live and it'll be easier to connect the dots. So let's get right into it. So this presentation here I created. Obviously it's presented by me, and if you don't know who I am, here's some quick credibility points on me. I've been investing in the stock market for 15 years now. I started when I was 18 years old. I'm 33 at the time of this recording, which is pretty crazy how time flies. But I started with a Trade King account. So Trade King was acquired by Ally, and I've actually advanced to Vanguard, TD Ameritrade, M1 Finance, Robinhood, Webull. There's a million different brokerages that I have my money on. The reason for that is because I actually review brokerages for both my blog and also for this channel. So I like to have my money in a lot of different places. I actually have a finance degree and an entrepreneurship degree as well. I graduated in December of 2010, literally 10 years ago to the date, which is pretty crazy. Starting to feel old. And I've actually worked in finance and commercial real estate a majority of my career. So I worked at a publicly traded bank as a credit analyst, so basically doing what I do with this stock information or these balance sheets and ratios that I'm going to teach you about. I actually did that as a job. So KeyBank is a publicly traded bank. Worked at Marcus and Millichap on the commercial lending side. They're a publicly traded real estate advisory services firm, and then I also worked for a real estate developer for many years. I've built homes. That's actually a duplex that I built from the ground up, and done a lot of stuff in real estate. And then finally, I've been providing free value on YouTube since November of 2017. At the time of this recording, I think I have somewhere around 465,000 subscribers. So just some housekeeping before we get started. We're going to get into the presentation, but there's a lot of value in this slide, so please pay attention. I'm going to make this presentation downloadable after I upload it.
So what do you guys think so far about this, guys?
Download this entire
You guys like it?
PowerPoint presentation.
Let me know.
You can keep it, share it, do whatever you want with it. There
This
are
is
some
saving,
offers with free stocks
so I'm
using
not
the link
touching
below
it,
at the time of this recording.
'cause it's saving.
Robinhood, which is the broker that I will be giving you examples on of actually buying and selling a stock on there. They're actually giving out a free stock. Webull is, and then M1 Finance as well. I also do have a free training available in the description below for M1 Finance. And then finally, Whiteboard Finance University. That's going to be my university, which is essentially going to take you from Finance 101, being somewhat financially illiterate, all the way to Finance 401, which is basically a master's degree in finance, if you will. So complete financial literacy, understanding how to master your money and build your wealth over time. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So why should you invest in the stock market? So it's clearly been one of the best tools to grow wealth over time throughout human history. The market has averaged roughly a 10% annual return on investment historically. The second point is savers are losers. This is to battle inflation. So everyone knows that having assets is better than just sitting on cash, especially in the interest rate environment that we're living in. But if you're a beginner to the stock market or the economy, this may be a little bit over your head. Just understand that you are losing purchasing power by not investing. It's never been cheaper to invest. These are $0 trades. Those are the norm. $0 fees is the norm. I remember when I started, the only reason I went with Trade King is because they had super cheap trades. I think it was like $4.95 a trade, and this was 15 years ago. So now it's pretty much free everywhere. Also, there's low expense ratios for solid investments with index funds and ETFs through Vanguard and other brokerages, which we're going to talk about later in the video. And then finally, you don't have to be a genius. There are strategies that help you grow your wealth over time, which I will talk about in this video. So let's get right into it. I'm going to give you a little preliminary background, a little bit of an analytical background, and then we're going to go exactly into the live demo of buying our first stock, okay? But before we do that, we don't want to put the
Estas
cart
férias.
before the horse. What is a stock
Yes.
exactly? So a stock is
And
simply a
nowadays,
share of ownership in a company.
you
So
are
think of each share being a slice
on
of
holidays.
pizza, okay? So when we're buying shares, this gives you equity, aka ownership shares in a company. So let's take an example. We have Microsoft, okay, which everyone is familiar with. They have shares outstanding of 7.56 billion. So if you think of a pizza or a pie, think of a pie divided into 7.56 billion slices. This is essentially what their shares outstanding are. So their share price, just for easy numbers, I did create this presentation a few days before I actually recorded it. So some of these numbers may not be exactly accurate, but I will be showing you a live demo on how to figure out all this stuff. So their share price at the time of this presentation was $216.02. So you need to understand what market cap is. So market capitalization is simply the shares outstanding, that's 7.56 billion,
Bem, tem a ver
multiplied
cada
by
coisa
the
por
share
causa
price,
do.
okay? So let me give you a
Como é que
quick
se diz?
example of that. Okay,
Da
so just so you
derrota,
can
não.
visualize this, let's pretend that we have a
É varrer.
pizza here, and the pizza has
Fernando
four
Santos.
slices. So we have slice
Era
1,
cara.
2, 3, 4. Okay, it's almost like a pie,
Não.
not a pizza. Pretend that this is a company. Let's just say that this is Microsoft, okay? These 4 shares that you see here are each worth, let's say, $1,000. $1,000 times 4 shares. Answer down in the comments below if you know the
Eu
answer.
não sei
I'll give
como é
you
que
a
vou
second
fazer.
here.
Não
Well,
apetece
that's
fazer
simple
as
math that just tells us that this company's market cap
Por
is
quê?
$4,000. So going back to market cap,
Yes.
that is simply the number of shares outstanding multiplied by the share
Capaz de
price. So
fazer a
if
primeira
each share
para vir
is
aqui
worth
bocadinho.
$1,000 and you have 4 shares of this company, their market cap is $4,000.
Make sure it
So
keeps
let's
it
go
clear.
back into the presentation. So now that we understand market cap, you just simply
Mais
take that
fácil.
7.56 billion multiplied by the
Pode ser
share
assim.
price of Microsoft, which is $216.02.
Não, está bem.
Easier if I have a pointer here. And then you simply get a market cap of $1.633 trillion. Okay, this is important because companies are typically measured by their market cap. Okay, so market cap changes over time because share prices and shares outstanding can change over time. That's like saying, hey, XYZ company went up in price, XYZ company went down in price. That's obviously changing their market cap as time goes on. So why do companies issue stocks? Well, this is simply to raise money for their business. Think of it like this. They are giving out shares of their pie, their equity, that's why stocks are called equities, in order to receive money from the general public in an IPO, an initial public offering. That's basically like crowdfunding for their business, if you will. So this could be used to fund a new product line. It can be used for R&D and research and development. It could be used to invest in the growth of their company. A lot of companies themselves were doing stock buybacks, which is actually reducing the number of shares outstanding. And then you also have paying off debt, okay? So there is a difference between preferred stock and common stock. So preferred stock is that you have no voting rights. Common stock, you do have voting rights. However, you are the last in line to get paid out in case of a liquidation. So if a company goes bankrupt and they have to sell everything that they own, they may be going bankrupt and you may not get paid out. That's the rough reality of being a common shareholder. And then also, you are the last to get paid a dividend. And then when you're thinking of buying a stock, or if you're a complete newbie and you're saying like, hey, I'm just buying stocks, you are typically buying common shares when you hear that analogy or hear that statement. So how are stocks categorized? This is important. So we have large cap, mid cap, and small cap stocks. So if you remember, we talked about market cap in this example down here with the different shares outstanding. That's pretty much how you capitalize a company, okay? So market cap, again, is just shares outstanding by the share price. So large cap companies are typically 10 billion plus, okay? These are typically hard to achieve massive growth due to their size. So think of a huge, well-established company, right? These could be your Johnson & Johnsons or your Pfizers or these companies that have been around for years. They've pretty much reached their peak, and now they're a huge, large cap company. They have proven track records over many years, and they frequently offer dividends. That's because they want to offer the dividend back to their shareholders as kind of a thank you for being a shareholder in the company. The easiest analogy to make with that is picture you're a landlord and you have a single-family home. The price of the property can go up or down, just like the share price can go up or down, but the tenants in the property are paying you rent every month. That's kind of what a dividend is. Then you have mid-cap stocks, which are 2 billion to 10 billion in market cap. They're not quite large cap. They're not quite there yet, but they also have a more established track record than the small cap stocks. They are also often the target of M&A, okay? So if you're not familiar with what M&A is, that simply stands for mergers and acquisitions. These are bigger fish that are eating up the smaller fish, either for their staff or their technology or making an exit because the owner just wants to get paid. Then you have small cap stocks, which are 300 million to $2 billion in market cap. These are typically younger, seeking aggressive growth, and they are typically higher risk and don't usually offer dividends. This is because they are so early on in their journey as a company and going public.
Pronto.
They
Mas
just have
pensei que estavas muito lento.
up until
Para
IPO,
fazer a minha assim. Ah, ok.
but they
Estavas
don't
atrasado
necessarily
tipo
now
quase
compete
chá.
with companies that happen
Bem cheio.
today, like this happens to. So if you
Bem
want to
cheio.
visualize this, you can take a look at this classic box by Morningstar. I'm sure you've seen this either in your 401k or in your fund at work. This box is like your typical classic categorization of different types of stocks. Obviously, this isn't 100% granular, but it gives you an idea of how these things are broken up. So if you look at the x-axis, which is on the bottom, you can see value, blend, and growth. We'll talk about those in a minute.
Santinho.
70 years ago, I was in high school, almost a third as long as the country has been around. And when I was in high school, I really only had two things on my mind: girls and cars. and I wasn't doing very well with girls, so we'll talk about cars. But let's just imagine that when we finish, I'm going to let each one of you pick out the car of your choice. Sounds good, doesn't it? Pick it out, any color, you name it, it'll be tied up with a bow, and it'll be at your house tomorrow. And you say, well, what's the catch? And the catch is that it's the only car you're going to get in your lifetime. Now, what are you going to do knowing that that's the only car you're ever going to have and you love that car? You're going to take care of it like you cannot believe. Now, what I'd like to suggest, you're not going to get only one car in your lifetime, but you're going to get one body and one mind. And that's all you're going to get. And that body and mind feels terrific now, but it has to last your lifetime. The important thing is to decide, is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on, which ones are beyond your capacity to evaluate.
Oui,
You
pois
don't
é.
have to be right about thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. You only have to be right about a company. I met Bill Gates on July 5th, 1991. We were out in Seattle, and Bill said, you've got to have a computer. And I said, why? And he said, well, he said, you can do your income tax on it. I said, I don't have any income. Berkshire doesn't pay a dividend. He said, well, you can keep track of your portfolio. And I said, I only have one stock. I said, I mean, and he says, it's going to change everything. And I said, well, will it change whether people chew gum? And he said, well, probably not. And I said, well, will it change what kind of gum they chew? And I said, well, then I'll stick to chewing gum and you stick to computers, you know. I don't have to understand all kinds of business. There's all kinds of business I don't understand. But there's thousands of opportunities there. I did understand the Bank of America, you know, and I'll be able, I'm able to understand
Claras.
some given
É,
percentage. But
faz
Ken
favor.
Williams
Ovos nos que não,
wrote a book called The Science of Hitting.
ovos aos que não.
And in The Science of Hitting, he's got a diagram.
Quer dizer, posso
Shows
ver
a
uma
plate,
delas?
and he's got the strike zone divided into 77 squares, each the size of a baseball. And he says, if I only swing at pitches in my sweet zone, which he shows there, and he has what his batting average would be, which is
Iogurtes.
400.
Não
He
é?
had to swing at low outside pitches, but still in the strike zone, his average would be 230.
Uma
He said
salada
the
para
most
coisa.
important thing in hitting is waiting for the right pitch. Now, he was at a disadvantage because if the count was 0-2 or 1-2 and so on, even if that ball was down where he was only going to bat 230, he had to swing at it. In investing, there's no called strikes. People can throw Microsoft at me and, you know, you name it, any stock, General Motors, and I didn't have to swing. Nobody's going to call me out on called strikes. I only get a strike called if I swing at a pitch and miss. So I can wait there and look at thousands of companies day after day, and only when I see something I understand and that I like the price at which it's selling, then if I swing, if I hit it, fine. If I miss it, it's a strike. But it's an enormously advantageous game, and it's a terrible mistake to think you have to have an opinion on everything. You only have to have an opinion on a few things. In fact, I've told students if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time. So I don't worry too much about the things I don't understand. If you understand some of these businesses that are coming along and can spot things on, if you can spot on Amazon, for example, I mean, it's a tremendous accomplishment what Jeff Bezos has done. And I tip my hat to him. He's a wonderful businessman. He's a good guy, too. But could I have anticipated that he would be the success and 10 others wouldn't be? I'm not good
Não
enough to
deixaste
do
nada
that.
no forno, pá.
But I don't, fortunately, I don't have to. You know, I don't
disso.
have to form an
Certo.
opinion on Amazon. And I did form an opinion on the Bank of America. And I formed an opinion on Coca-Cola. I mean, Coca-Cola's been around since 1886. There's 1.8 billion 8-ounce servings of Coca-Cola products sold every day. Now, if you take 1 penny and get 1 penny extra, that's $18 million a day. And 18 million times 365 is 7 billion, 3 less 730 billion, or $6,570,000,000. So annually, $6,570,000,000 from one penny. You think Coca-Cola is worth a penny more than Joe's Cola? I think so. So, and I've got about 127 years of history that would indicate it. So those are the kind of decisions I like to make. And you may have an entirely different field of expertise than I would have. Probably much more up to date in terms of the kind of businesses that we're seeing evolve. And you can get very rich if you just understand a few of them and understand their future.
What is it that you two share? What makes this friendship so satisfying for both of you?
Well, I think we both certainly share a curiosity about the world, and we come from two different but related worlds. So we had, I think we probably spent about 10 hours of this 1 hour visit that Bill was scheduled on July 5th, 1991. His mother had to talk him into it.
Alright people, looks great, color combos are good, nice, ladylike, nice, good to know guys, good to know. Alright people, I'm leaving now, alright, I'll be back later, try to finish this and another one, alright, stay tuned, stay well, all the best, see you guys later, cheers, it was a pleasure to have you guys here, all the best.